Through the intermediate student pages, you can really teach your kids the Bible and give them the tools they need to read it on their own and apply it to their lives. The intermediate student pages guide you through the entire lesson, targeting students in and around the 3rd and 4th grades. The student pages are simple, easy to use, and fun for kids. Each lesson is one 8.5 by 14 sheet of paper, front and back, and they are sold in 26 lesson sets like this. They are lightly glue bound on the side so you can easily tear out each lesson as you need it. Depending on your situation, you can guide your students through the student page lesson, or if you wish, they can do it largely on their own. Here's a quick tour through an intermediate student page lesson. The lesson begins with a review activity to help kids remember what they have studied in earlier lessons. Review is key to help their learning stay with them. Next is a brief memory work section. Over the course of the program, students will learn books of the Bible, key verses in the Bible, and many other things that are helpful for students to have memorized. This section also usually refers you to the Bible book summary cards, an extremely useful optional tool that teaches students the basic content and themes of every book in the Bible. Next on the student page is a little section called Guess What?, where we introduce helpful facts and definitions that will help kids understand the Bible text they will be reading that day. Here, they learn a little bit about the Israelites' new moon celebration. Then, students flip the page to the actual Bible lesson of the day. This is the part where they dive into the Bible. Students read from their own Bibles and interact with the illustrations to help them remember and enjoy what they are reading. How does it work? Students begin by reading the verses for number 1. Then, you read the activities for number 1 while the student completes them on their own. If you choose, students can read the activities and do them completely on their own. When they have completed those activities, they will go to number 2, read those verses and do those activities, and so on. In this way, the students are constantly interacting with the Bible story and thinking about what they are reading. There is always one verse or section that is emphasized in the Bible story. This verse will be the application verse they will focus on later. After the Bible text is complete, students flip the page back over to the timeline or map section. Every lesson has either a timeline or a map section. Through the timeline, the students come to understand the Bible in a big picture way and how every person and event they read about fits into the overall story of the Bible. With the Bible Study Guide, you are constantly using this simple timeline to help students understand the context of everything they read. The same goes for the simple maps that are used. This lesson uses a map of the 12 tribes of Israel. Kids can really understand the text better when they understand where it happened and where the place they are learning about today is located in relation to the other places they have learned about. After the timeline or map, the students experience an activity that gets them away from their student page for a moment and prepares their minds to apply what they have learned from the Bible to their own lives. When they have completed the activity, they go to the Apply It section. This is where they start applying the text, particularly the application verse, to their lives. They read the application verse, then they read the first part of a short modern story they can relate to. Then they are asked to tell the rest of the story. They try to tell the story in a way that applies the application verse to the situation. What they are learning to do is to apply biblical truth to modern situations. Then they make it personal. They answer questions that help them apply the application verse to their own lives. When they have done that, they pray and ask God to help them do what they have learned. As children are being transformed by God's Word, the Bible is becoming a familiar, comfortable, usable tool in their hands.